Good evening, guys. Welcome. Oh, no. I think I just did this, and yes. Good evening. Very warm welcome to each one of you. Actually, there is a problem. I think most of you all don't know about it, so I'll just quickly inform everybody. And yeah, that's what we are going to do. And yeah, just give me a minute, and I'll call everybody who's there. And yeah. So let's have it. Okay, join now. All right. So, guys, in today's class, what we are going to do is we are going to actually see the poem which is childhood, and we are also going to do the important questions. Now, I have prepared some questions for you. Like, I have come up with some questions. What you can do is, once we are done with childhood, you can take a screenshot of all those questions. And yeah, you can take a screenshot and you can practice them all because it's going to work like a worksheet for you. So that's it, guys. This is childhood poem by Marcus Natten. Now, the video that you are watching right now is a part of supervision batch, which is there for your final exams, in which we have Priya ma'am who's going to teach you accountancy, we have Girish Agarwal sir who's going to teach you business studies, we have Nitika ma'am who's going to teach you economics, and me who's going to teach you English. The same batch is there for class 12th as well, so if you have any friends in there, you can always spread the word. Okay, so if you're interested, you can also enroll for an Academy Plus because this is going to be really amazing. I promise you. I have a lot of questions, thousands of questions, and summaries, and word meanings, and paraphrases, and a lot of things coming on Plus. I have launched my course from 1st of December. It's live on my profile. If you want, you can check that out. The link is given in the description box below. Yeah. So Unacademy Plus subscription comes with a lot of features, and some of them are that get to learn live from the comfort of your home. You get unlimited access to all the courses. You get top educators on one platform. You get exhaustive coverage of syllabus, regular doubt clearing sessions, live test series, study material, answer writing session, mentorship, and guidance. So, if you want, you can consider choosing Iconic subscription. Also, it has the personal mentor thing, which is very unique, and you actually get doubt solving, live doubt solving, and parental control also. Let me just tell you that from 30th, which is today, the new batches are live, and trust me, you're going to love those batches for humanities, commerce, and science. There is test series going on the platform, and yes, 6th yeah on 6th of December we have an Academy Ascent. That is a championship test, and if you apply and if you enroll for it, and if you get actually good chances of giving good exam there, then you can actually win scholarship worth 5 lakh rupees. So yeah. Now, if you are interested in going for Plus or Iconic, and if you are even interested in going for Special, that is free classes, you can use the code SDC Live. From tomorrow onwards, all the classes on the platform will be locked, and to unlock them, you will have to use Educator's code, which is SDC Live, and you will get access to all the free product that the platform has to offer. Apart from that, if you wish to take a Plus or Iconic, you can always use SDC Live to get a 10% discount on your Plus or Iconic subscription. Now, meanwhile, I think some of you have joined. I'm really sorry I kept this class on a very short note. I know, I understand. You guys weren't prepared, but yeah, this was the only hour that was free. So that's the problem. Now let's see the introduction of the poem, and I've actually created this with a lot of pictures and a lot of colors, so it will be all interesting for you, trust me. Before we begin, let's know that the of the poet for the poem is Marcus Nathan. So, Childhood is written by Marcus Nathan. In this poem, the poet thinks over his lost childhood. He wonders about the moment where he lost the innocence and realized that the world is not what it seemed it to be. He recalls when his thoughts changed and he realized the hypocrisy of the people around him. He finally settled down to the idea that his childhood went to some forgotten place and is hidden in the face of the infant or innocent infant. So, guys, just like Marcus Netton, we also keep on thinking about it. It's like particularly when we become adults and we have huge responsibilities, be it the job or studies or parents or relationships. We have a lot, and when we look back, we see something that's lost, and that's our childhood. So, definitely, we all miss our childhood, don't we? So let's see the summary of the entire poem, because most of you all have studied this with me earlier. So let's see the summary. By the way, towards the end of this video, you are going to get most important question worksheet. So don't skip it. Or yes, stay till the end so that you can also enjoy the important questions. Now, summary says, in the poem, the poet wonders when he lost his childhood and the innocence he had. He became conscious that he no longer sees the world as he did earlier, and he can sense the hypocrisy in people. He recalled many instances in his life when he could have lost his childhood. He wondered if it was the day he ceased to be 11 or he realized that hell and heaven didn't exist in the world. No one could find them in geography. गाइस, यहाँ पे पोएट बोलते हैं कि पता ही नहीं मेरा चाइल्डहुड कब चला गया। क्या वो दिन था जब मैं 11 साल का नहीं था और मैं 12th में, लाइक 12th ईयर में एंटर कर गया? क्या वो दिन था जब मुझे रियलाइज़ हुआ कि लोग लिटरली कैसे होते हैं और एडल्ट्स कितने ज़्यादा हिपोक्रेट होते हैं? क्या वो दिन था जब मैंने ये देखा कि हेल और हेवन को ज्योग्राफी पे लोकेट नहीं किया जा सकता, एंड दैट्स वाई हेल और हेवन एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करते हैं? So he talks about the possibility when he realized that adults were not that they seem to be. They are hypocrites. They preach of something different and they do something different. They preach of love and this and that, and then they end up, hating each other. So, is this correct? Is this where his childhood? Is this when he realized all this? When he lost his childhood? They talk and preach of love, but their action don't say so. Was it the day when he realized that his mind was his own and capable of producing his own thoughts? So जब हम छोटे होते हैं, हमें जो भी हमारे पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं, we feel that all of it is true. And then when we actually grow up, we realize that no, it's not the case. And actually, we are the ones who can think of ourselves for ourselves, and we can actually produce any thoughts whatsoever. So definitely this was the time when he realized that was that the time when I lost my childhood. No one can own that he is an individual and his particular personality. And in the last stanza, he talks about the whereabouts of his childhood. He's like, where did it go? Firstly, he's asking, when did it go? कब चला गया? मुझे पता क्यों नहीं चला कि अब मैं बच्चा नहीं हूँ, और क्या उस टाइम मैंने या इस टाइम या उस टाइम इस तरीके से मैंने चाइल्डहुड को दिया। और लास्ट में वो बोलते हैं चाइल्डहुड कहाँ चला गया? वो बोलते हैं ज़रूर चाइल्डहुड एक ऐसी प्लेस में जा चुका है जो कि forgotten place है. That means he probably will not have an access to it. And also he says that he can find the childhood in an infant's face. So that's how he conclude the poem. Now that was the summary of the poem, and I'm sure that you are willing to see the explanation, because trust me, this is the best thing. Now let me just read the poem for you guys, and then I will explain this one by one. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography, and therefore could not be? Was that the day? सो बेसिकली यहाँ पे इसमें वो बोलते हैं, बोला मेरा चाइल्डहुड कहाँ चला गया? क्या वो दिन था जब मैं 11 ईयर ओल्ड नहीं रहा और मैं 12 में एंटर कर गया? क्या वो दिन था जब मुझे ये रियलाइज हुआ कि हेल और हेवन एक्चुअली एग्जिस्ट नहीं करते हैं, क्योंकि हम उन्हें ज्योग्राफी में फाइंड नहीं कर सकते हैं? क्या वो दिन था जब मुझ में इतनी अक्ल आई कि मैं लिटरली जो बातें मुझे मेरे पेरेंट्स बोलते रहते थे उन्हें क्वेश्चन करने लगा? पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं गॉड इज अराउंड अस, पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं हेल एंड हेवन बोथ आर हियर ओनली. So was that the day when I realized that hell and heaven are not actually the part of the universe that we live in, because we can't find them on geography? Was that the day when I realized that, okay, the things that I will be thinking, the things that I've been told by my parents are not exactly true? So it's like उस दिन मैंने अपना childhood खो दिया, या फिर when did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seem to be? हम लोग कितने हिपोक्रिट्स हैं, हम लोग कितना ज़्यादा हम लोग प्रीच कुछ करते हैं, करते कुछ हैं. बहुत बार हमें ऐसा करना पड़ता है, बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ लाइफ इज़, दैट्स हाउ लाइफ इज़. एंड यू फील दैट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम you don't want to do a certain thing, but you have to, because we are adults, we've got certain responsibilities, we have to adhere to a certain norms, and that's why we become hypocrite. And it's somewhere real, and it's somewhere bad for life. ये बोलते हैं कि क्या वो दिन था जब मुझे ये पता चला कि जो एडल्ट्स हैं वो नहीं है जो वो दिखावा करते हैं बनने का. दे टॉक्ड ऑफ लव एंड प्रीच्ड ऑफ लव बट डिड नॉट एक्ट सो लविंगली. बोला वो प्यार की बातें करते हैं, वो प्रीच करते हैं प्यार को, बट वो कभी भी लविंगली एक्ट नहीं करते. वॉज दैट द डे? Your parents, your adults, like people nearby you, they must be like, okay, we should love each other, we should literally care for each other, there are no religional or regional differences, there is no casteism, there is no racism, and then they themselves do it. Is this what they feel like? Is this how you actually act towards what you have just preached? But then, was that the day when I realized that this is actually normal? And adults do it all the time. They keep on saying something and they keep on doing something else. So, was that the day? Was that the day when I lost my childhood? When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine? To use whichever way I choose, producing thoughts that were not those of other people, but my own and mine alone. Was that the day? बोला क्या वो दिन था जब मुझे ये रियलाइज हुआ दैट आई कैन एक्चुअली प्रोड्यूस माई ओन थॉट्स, that my mind was my mind. If I feel something bad, if I feel bad about something, if I want to say certain thing, if I want to like feel certain thing, if I want to just say certain thing, whatever. So it was all me thinking and doing. वॉज दैट द डे? क्या वो दिन था जब मैंने ये रियलाइज किया कि अब मैं मेरे हिसाब से चल सकता हूँ, दैट आई वॉज माई दैट इट वॉज माई ओन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू टेक केयर ऑफ माई सेल्फ एंड माई इंडिविजुअलिटी? Was that the day when I got my individuality and I need not depend on my parents? I need not depend on their opinions, or I need not depend, or I need not ask them what they wanted. Was that the day when I realized that all the thoughts, be it trauma, be it joy, be it anything, I was responsible for it? Was that the day? And then he goes on saying and asks, where did my childhood go? बोला कि मेरा childhood गया कहाँ? It went to some forgotten place. किसी ऐसी जगह चला गया जहाँ से वो वापस नहीं आ सकता, किसी ऐसी जगह जहाँ पे मैं उसे वापस ढूंढ नहीं पाऊंगा. And yes, now if I ever try to find or locate childhood, it will always be in an infant's face. So whenever I'm going to look at a baby, and whenever I'm going to look at that innocence, I'm going to find my childhood there, because it's gone. It's bad. It's actually, it hurts, because childhood is something that should be experienced by each one of us. There are a lot of people who don't get that chance. A lot of people, because they don't have facilities. They don't have facilities to be child. A lot of people mature because now they literally need to understand that it's their responsibility, their parents are their responsibility, and it actually is their life, and they need to move on and look for themselves. And a lot of people lose their childhood there. So it's very bad and it's hurting that a lot of people don't get a chance to live their life. So childhood is something that we should all celebrate, because once we move out of it, there is no coming back. And it is rightly said that we should never ever let the child inside us die, because trust me, that's the innocent, like that's the most innocent phase of our lives. जब आप childhood क्रॉस करते हो, the world becomes so cruel, and life become and things become so crucial that you take decisions that you should not take. And that's when you lose your childhood and you see how hard it is to be living, and you see all the hardships in the world. And trust me, that's something that you don't want to see. So that is the reason why poet is like, where did my childhood go? I wanted to be with it forever. And now, since his childhood is gone, he's going to look for the childhood in an infant's face. So that was the entire poem. But I wanted to make sure that you have access to the literary devices here, because obviously you would need them. So let's talk about the literacy devices. So we have rationalism. The poet rationalizes the childhood when he was 11, and he found out that hell and heaven don't exist and are not found in the geography. Never knew rationalism was a literary device too. So यहाँ पे वो rational बात करते हैं, कोई ऐसी बात करते हैं जो कि literally दिमागदार है, rationalize करते हैं वो अपने thoughts को यहाँ पे, और वो बताते हैं कि जब वो 11 when he ceased to be 11, उसके बाद में childhood चला गया, या फिर शायद जब उन्हें पता चला कि hell और heaven locate नहीं किए जा सकते, तब उन्होंने अपना childhood खो दिया. राइमिंग स्कीम आपको देखने को मिलेगी पोम में, एंड राइम स्कीम इज ABBCCD. सो ABBCCD इज द राइम स्कीम. राइम स्कीम आप कैसे लोकेट करते हो? जब आपको लगता है कि एंड वर्ड्स जो हैं वो एक्चुअली सिमिलर है, वो राइम कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे के साथ, दैट्स व्हेन यू लोकेट दैट ओके दिस इज द राइम स्कीम. रिफ्रेन का मतलब होता है ग्रुप या फिर फ्रेज जो कि रिपीट होता है, और पोएम में वो है व्हेन डिड माय चाइल्डहुड गो वाज दैट द डे, बिकॉज इट्स बीन रिपीटेड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स एंड दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज रिफ्रेन. Individuality is there in stanza 3, where he realizes that okay, he is his own owner, and it's his responsibility, and he can think all he want, he can behave how he want, and it's all him. Antithesis are when two opposite words are used together in a sentence in a poem. For example, hell and heaven. Now hell and heaven are two opposites and they are used together in the poem, and that's why that's known as antithesis. And then we have alliteration. Now alliteration is when there are similar sound, like similar words with sounds, like similar sounding words or letters are used. So when you have similar sounds in words, that's known as alliteration. For example, the time. Now, the time is actually not alliteration particularly, because the time the hota hai, the se chalu ho raha, time ta se chalu ho raha. So it's not alliteration, it's there by mistake, really sorry for it. But my mind is there, ma, whichever way, whichever, wa. Thoughts, that, again th. So definitely यहाँ पे alliteration है. Inversion का मतलब होता है when the subject verb order is reversed. Now we have subject, verb and object, right? So in a sentence we have subject, verb and object. When that's reversed, that becomes inversion. To use whichever way I choose. So to use पहले आ गया. Now ये space था subject का, but वो पहले आ गया, so that's known as inversion. So I wanted to also have some question and answer in here. So let's talk about some question and answer from the poem. Now, let's see. So we have a lot of question and answer here. Identify the stanza that talks of each of the following. So individuality, we have rationalism, we have hypocrisy. So individuality का stanza third stanza है, rationalism का stanza first stanza है, and hypocrisy का stanza second stanza है. So इस तरीके के questions आ सकते हैं if your school decides to actually give you a good paper. So definitely these are the various stanzas: individuality, rationalism, and hypocrisy. What, according to the poem, is involved in the process of growing up? Now, according to the poem, the process of growing up involves attaining maturity and becoming a rational and logical thinker. When the poet became an adult, he was able to see the hypocrisy in other people. He could distinguish in the behavior of double standard and preach and talk of love. A grown up can tell a difference between reality or fantasy. A mature person stresses on his thoughts and is capable of having his own opinion. So बोला what according the poem के according कौन सा ऐसा like इसमें like what is there that is going to involve the process of growing up? So that's the correct answer for it, guys. What is the poet's feeling towards childhood? Now, definitely, poet is feeling bad because he has lost his childhood, and he wanted to know when was the moment when he became all grown up and lost the innocence of an infant. He expresses his confusion by asking that when and where did his childhood go? Which do you think are the most poetic lines and why? The lines in the stanza are the most poetic lines in the poem. It went to some forgotten place that's hidden in an infant's face. That's all I know. Now, the poet beautifully describes the disappearance of his childhood. He talks about how one can find innocence in an infant's face. It is a process of life that an individual grows up and slowly starts understanding the concept of the world and people around them. During childhood, a person believes in things that aren't true or has different set of reality. When the child grows up and is able to process his own thoughts, he realizes that many things don't exist the way he thought them to be. So that's there. Moving on. Guys, so that was the poem Childhood, and I hope you understood it well because it was a very small and yet beautiful poem. And now, what we are going to do is we are going to proceed with a lot of important questions that we need because these are the important questions which you need to literally do on your own. This is a kind of a worksheet that you can take that you can take from here, and these questions you're going to do on your own. Practice them so that you understand where do you stand exactly. In case you decide to study well, in case you decide that you want to study everything in detail, you want to have a lot of knowledge, you want to have a lot of content, and you decide to study English with me, please go ahead and buy Plus because it's worthy. It's going to be interesting, it's worthy, and trust me, you're never ever going to regret the decision. Alright, so question. Elaborate on the beautiful bond of love and friendship between the author and his grandmother. Now, this is again the very important question. These questions are actually the questions for the entire English literature. So, this is something, now this PDF is something, or this entire slide thing is something that you need to practice because you are going to exactly understand what kind of question can form a part of your paper and are you ready for them. So first question says elaborate on the beautiful bond of love and friendship between the author and his grandmother. This is from a photograph, and this question is actually going to talk about the entire relationship. You're going to mention from where the friendship began and where did it end. तो आपको एकदम स्टार्टिंग से बात करना पड़ेगा कि किस तरीके से वो दोनों एक साथ स्कूल जाते थे, किस तरीके से उनके पेरेंट्स उन्हें वहाँ छोड़ के चले गए थे, एंड इट वाज ऑल ब्यूटीफुल, एंड वन डे व्हेन दे कॉल्ड फॉर देम it was a turning point because obviously They were not happy in city like the author was. Author certainly was, but grandmom was definitely not happy. Not happy about the education, not happy about the entire idea of the city life and urbanization. But she actually was a very amazing person. She was very mature and she never spoke about it, and that shows how important the relationships were to her. So yeah. And then even at the end, when author came back from university from abroad, she actually danced like anything because she was happy, and that's how she died, because she was dancing and then she was taken ill and then she died. So you need to actually make it in a flow. Discuss the relevance of the title, The Portrait of a Lady. Now, these type of questions are actually on hype these days. A lot of title and main idea and theme based questions can be asked, because that check your understanding of the concept. So please note that these type of question you need to actually have your own opinion, but along with that you need to state points, certain points that you feel will support your opinion from the chapter. So, if we see the relevance of the title, "The Portrait of Lady," we feel that yes, the portrait of a lady is relevant in here. Why? Because when the chapter started, it started from a portrait, but that portrait was of the grandfather, and it showed how amazing he was and how old he was looking. Because it seemed as if he had lots and lots of grandchildren. Then there was this amazing friendship and relationship and bond between author and grandmother. And certainly they lived their life peacefully until they were called to the city. And then the life took the turning, like a U-turn, and it was a turning point in their life. Then they decided to live their life as it was destined. One day, when Arthur returned, and grandmother was very happy because she had seen him after so many years. She danced like anything, she played like anything, and the very next day she was taken ill because she did not pray. That's what at least she believed. And then there was this fever, and soon it became something else, and she died. So then the next portrait that was hung on the wall was the portrait of the grandmother. And grandmother, with that portrait lies the feelings and emotion and the friendship that author shared with her, with his grandmother. And that's why the title, "The Portrait of a Lady," is well justified. Next, we have write a character sketch of the author's grandmother using the following words. Now, these are the words, and this is the question that I've kept on telling you literally, because on the special classes, on the YouTube classes, I've been telling you that this is one question that can come in your exam, because characteristics is important, and there are a lot of features in grandma's characters in the first chapter. So you can use words affectionate, caring, kind, benevolent, religious, and a strong woman. And you need to literally have examples from the chapter, and you need to use those examples to actually confirm and state that okay, she was affectionate and caring and kind and this and that. You need to literally explain that. How did they deal with the water that had gushed into the ship? Let me just tell you guys. Now today I will definitely tell you that okay, this question is from this chapter, but in your exam sometimes questions come as it is, and you need to first figure out what is the chapter. Like, you need to literally figure out which chapter is this question from, and then you can literally solve it. So please make sure that you know exact words from NCERT. Please make sure that you know the basic theme of each and every chapter, so that if these kinds of questions come, you can always answer. How did they deal with the water that had gushed into the ship? So Larry and Herb were literally pumping like madmen, and they were pumping to their entire strength, because पानी बहुत ज़्यादा आ गया था, and they wanted कि वो पानी को बहुत अच्छी तरीके से बाहर निकाला जाए. But वो कुछ ही टाइम चला, क्योंकि थोड़े दिन देर में pumps ख़राब हो गए थे. And then the narrator or the author decided that okay, I need to literally go and get the pumps. And then somewhere he found two spare pumps and one electric pump as well. and then the electric pump also short circuited, and there were a lot of problems. But then they had these spare ones, and they used it, and they still were pumping it out of the boat. Later on, they realized that there were literally deep holes somewhere, because the water level was coming down, but it was not coming down exactly how they had hoped. So then they later checked out, and then there were a literally there were this portion of the boat that was literally broken, and the boat was actually using cupboards to stop water. So then they decided that it's going in the wrong direction and everything is not fine. And yeah, so they did something about it, use canvas and this and that, and later on they somehow controlled the water level, but it was still coming in. They gave up. They were like, it's not happening, and we need to just save ourselves right now if we can. The author calculated and recalculated and decided that okay, there is this island nearby and we can go there. So with his spare calculator, he decided everything. With his spare compass, he actually calculated everything and said Larry that okay, you need to take 180 turn here, and we will reach to an island in at 5 o'clock. When they did not reach to the island at 5 o'clock, and when he woke up it was already 6, he thought that they must have lost the island. But when the children came in, it was all happy because they said that they have found the island and it's all in front of them. And that's how they actually managed to save their life. Apart that's the entire summary. But for this particular answer, I think till the water one would do. Okay, why were they desperate to look for an island? How did they manage? I just answered it, because it was not possible for them to keep on pumping. The reason was that one part of the boat was literally coming out, and only cupboards were there, who were like only cupboards were supporting it. And if cupboards weren't there, the water would already float in, and no matter how they pump, it's going to come in. They gave up and they thought that okay, rather than pumping here madly, let's figure out if we have any other thing, because this boat is not going Australia. So that's how they calculated, recalculated, and thought that okay, there are two islands nearby, and they decided that they can actually choose El Amsterdam, and then yeah, they went in that same direction and somehow found it. The children braved the situation more maturely than their years discuss. Yes, exactly, because narrator's kids, one was a 6 year old and the other one was 7 years old. Now, a child of 6 or 7 years, like a child doesn't even know what they are suffering from or what will happen to them. But these both guys were really, really brave. And one of them, that was Sue. Like Sue was so brave that she did not even tell her parents that she got this good scratch on her arm, and that her head was paining. She actually kept quiet, and that literally took a lot of surgeries later. She actually was very brave, and she also tried to give a card to her father to mention that she was grateful, forever grateful for whatever they have done. Apart from that, the little boy, he came and he said that daddy, are we going to die? And if we are going to die, if we are all together, I'm not afraid of dying. So yes, it's fine daddy, you're doing too much already. Now these were some episodes that actually made author think and rethink that he needs to literally save his family, because these guys were extraordinarily brave. So yeah. Nature echoed the unnatural happening with King Tut's body comment. Now, the entire chapter has a lot of natural things going on in the like with the Tute's body. So there are a lot of things about the curse and this and that, and a lot of people feel that if anybody is going to touch Parva's body, they are going to have this curse and they are going to die really soon, or something unfortunate is going to happen, and the best thing that can happen, unfortunately, is death. So a lot of time when they were trying to actually pull out Tute's body, or they were trying to do something with it, Sometimes there would be huge storms, or sometimes there would be winds going on and the temperature would drop and this and that. So it was literally too much. And a lot of time they were like, okay. And that one also, when they actually took the body to CT scan and the scanner stopped, and the guard thought that okay, it's probably because of the curse. It was too much. But yes, nature had its own chances of proving that the curse might be true. So yeah, unnatural happenings that were there, yes. Along with that, if not this, you can also mention how the entire life of like Tute depicted what was going to happen, and whatever that happened, how we can take a history from the beginning of his life. So entire thing is naturally aligned, and obviously life and death are aligned, so you can use that also here. Describe the changing attitudes of the archaeologist over a span of time. Now, this is theoretical question. Now, you don't need to have your own opinion in there. You can actually basically you can write everything that's there in the chapter, be it starting from Howard Carter to the CT scan. Howard Carter to CT scan, because Howard Carter, um, and in fact, you can mention that. And you can also mention that earlier archaeology was all about the treasure hunt and this and that. People used to look for a lot of treasure and a lot of hidden things, but now it's more about life and causes of life and death, and how for how many years did somebody live, or what happened, all of those thoughts. So basically now it's not just about the treasure, it's more to it, there's more to it. And yeah, so that's where we are going. What are the facts that are known about King Tut's lineage? There are a lot of thoughts. You can always mention about his ancestors. You can always mention about how he died. You can always mention about how people were talking, that what was the reason of his death, and then a lot of other things. Everything that's there in the history of King Tut, you can all or mention all the points in here. Narrate the tale of the Chinese emperor and the artist. What message does the story convey? Now, this is a very different kind of question. Now, in this, you have to actually narrate the story, the Chinese emperor and the artist, the wall story, the landscape story. And you need to literally say, and you need to literally differentiate between the Chinese painting as well as the European painting, the difference between Chinese and European paintings. And you need to say that okay, Chinese paintings are the paintings done by painters who want you to use your own eyes and look for things in the painting. You can travel the painting according to you. Whereas in the European painting, the painters want to actually borrow their eyes, that means to borrow their own vision. And whatever that you're going to look at, whatever that you're going to observe, it's going to be from their eyes, that means their perspective of vision. So Chinese art let the person travel according to themselves and how they feel about the painting, whereas in the European art it's not the same and it's really different. So yeah, you can actually first tell about the tale, and then you can discuss the message. Narrate the antidote that brings out the Europeans' endeavor to achieve a perfect illusionistic likeliness. So in this one, you need to actually give the example of the European this thing. So a lot of times we feel that European artists actually try to make things real. They try to copy things, they actually try to know things and make them real. But that's not the case with Chinese artists, because Chinese artists only want to draw something, and then they want you to travel in it and decide whether or not you feel same about the painting. And you have all the freedom. You can literally think of anything when you are looking at the painting. So you can always talk about the example given in the chapter and the differences between the two. What was the revolutionary idea in the art that was put forward by Jean Defibet? How did an Indian artist support his theory? Now again the art will come here. Now Indian artist की जैसे यहाँ पे बात आती है, तो you can always use Nick Chen's example, and then you can write this one. The earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. What are these vital signs? Now, this is from Ailing Planet. Now, in Ailing Planet, you'll see that the author has mentioned a lot of points regarding Earth being, Earth being a patient. बिकॉज जो भी अर्थ के साथ हो रहा है, बी इट ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, वो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो सकता है, वो फिशरीज या फिशरीज का डिटेरियोरेट होना, डिफॉरेस्टेशन होना, वट एवर दैट्स हैपनिंग विद अर्थ are the vital signs that it is deteriorating, and it's high time that we look for changes. It's high time we all join hands and do something about it. So you need to mention all the bad things that are happening with Earth in this question. Okay. Various visionaries and academicians have warned against hazardous consequences if we do not wake up to our responsibility towards the environment. Elaborate. Now, बहुत सारे लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं और लिटरली ये सच भी है. अगर हम लोगों ने अभी कंट्रोल नहीं किया तो बहुत कुछ ऐसा हो जाएगा जो हमारे कंट्रोल से बाहर चला जाएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप कोरोना केस को देख लो. Don't you feel that everything that's happening in 2020, it's just like Earth is taking revenge? Animals are out, humans are inside, there are fires, there are floods, people are dying, and then there are a lot of accidents. There is this pandemic going on. 2020 must teach us that it's high time we actually let the earth breathe, because we are in such a rush that we don't even stop for a while. Earth decided to actually stop us, and that's when we actually step inside of our homes, and we were there for how many months exactly? 6-7 months, or till today? So in some countries we have lost so many people. In our country we have lost so many people just because we guys are in a rush. And if we were to stop ever, we wouldn't have stopped, because we are in a race. If we stop, we feel that we are behind. So Earth decided to stop everyone instead, and that's how we stopped, right? So yeah, it was Earth's chance, and it was Earth who took revenge on us. What are the four systems that sustain our life on Earth? What threats are they are facing? It starts from the fisheries and then the croplands and all the areas. And if we don't, actually, it's a high time. If we don't really think about these, and if we don't feel that okay, now we need to conserve the environment, we literally need to take our steps ahead towards conservation. If we don't do that today, we are going to actually deteriorate to a level that every person who is residing, every person who's there is going to suffer, and our future generations are going to suffer immensely. Alright, write a brief character sketch of Frank Hunter. Now, Frank Hunter का brief character sketch आप आराम से यहाँ पे दे सकते हो. This is the chapter in which आपको यहाँ पे आप एक्चुअली कैसे इसका कैरेक्टर पिक करोगे. यहाँ पे आप टैपलो के साथ में जो उनका कॉन्वर्जेशन है वहाँ से वो कैरेक्टर आप पिक करने वाले हो, एंड दैट्स हाउ यूल नो कि वो कितने ज़्यादा क्लेवर थे एंड कितने ज़्यादा ईजी थे बच्चों के साथ में एंड स्टफ. What idea do you form Tableau after reading the play Browning version? कि Tableau काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छा बच्चा है और वो अपने एजुकेटर्स की हेल्प करता है, वो उन्हें रिस्पेक्ट करता है, वो काफ़ी पसंद करता है साइंस को, और उसका आइडिया काफ़ी ज़्यादा क्लियर है. और डेफिनेटली वो चाहता है कि वो जितना हो सके उतना ज़्यादा अपनी तरफ से करे अपने आप को रिमूव दिलवाने के लिए. एंड दैट्स वाई मिली के आने के बाद में भी वो वहाँ से नहीं जाते हैं जब तक वो ये कहती नहीं है कि आई विल टेक इट ऑन माई सेल्फ. सो ही इज़ अ पर्सन जो कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा डिपेंडेंट है और बहुत ही ज़्यादा बिलीव करता है कि उसको एजुकेटर्स की ज़रूरत रहेगी और वो उनको काफ़ी ज़्यादा रिस्पेक्ट भी करेगा. The poet has paid a tribute to her mother. Similar instances can be seen in Portrait of Lady. This made you think that writing about a loved one is much better than building their statues or drawing their portraits. Comment. Now, this is a comment based question, and you will have your own opinion on this one. इट साइलेंस साइलेंसेज राइट शैली टॉल्सन। सो अभी आपको पता है कि यहाँ पे वो अपनी मॉम की लॉस पे यही बोलती है कि देर इज नथिंग दैट आई कैन डू, आई कांट डू एनीथिंग, आई कांट टॉक अबाउट इट, आई कांट लिटरली मूव अहेड एंड थिंक ऑफ समथिंग, राइट। सो यहाँ पे जब वो ये बोलती है तो इससे आप क्या समझते हो, लाइक आपको क्या लगता है कि उनका एटीट्यूड करेक्ट है? आपको क्या लगता है वट एवर दैट्स हाउ एवर शी इज फीलिंग एंड वट एवर दैट शी इज बिन थिंकिंग, इज दैट करेक्ट? Read the extract given below and answer any of the two questions. Guys, this is again the extract thingy here and you can answer the questions. Arrival of the goldfinch on the laburnum top brings about a change in the poem. How do you interpret this change? Is change good or bad in life? डेफिनेटली लेबरनम टॉप पे गोल्डफिंच का आना लेबरनम टॉप को स्टार्ट कर देता है एकदम वैसे जैसे हमारी मॉम्स होती हैं। हमारी मॉम्स इंजन है हमारे फैमिली का एंड इट्स सो इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर टू हैव देम विद अस, अदरवाइज वी फील लिटरली वी फील ब्रोकन, वी फील कि यार आज कुछ भी नहीं हुआ या इनफैक्ट कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता। तो डेफिनेटली वट एवर चेंजेस दैट हैपेंड आफ्टर गोल्डफिंच arrive to the laburnum top are good because that shows how mothers are important. Read the extract below so you can see the extract in here and you can answer these questions. Then we have a lot of extracts here. Now in these extracts there are MCQs. Just take a screenshot and do them on your own because this is the worksheet that we are discussing right here. I want you guys to actually do this because we have completed literature today and I want you guys to see and check whether you have learned from these like these videos and the entire series, and that's why I've come up with these questions from the entire literature. Is independent thinking a step towards adulthood? If yes, then how? Explain with reference to poem Childhood. Actually ये childhood का आज ही हम लोगों ने पढ़ा कि किस तरीके से वो बोलते हैं कि नाउ अभी मैं इंडिपेंडेंट हूँ, तो क्या ये अडल्टहुड की तरफ हमें लेके जाता है? समहाउ हाँ, क्योंकि हम चीज़ों को रैशनलाइज करने लग जाते हैं, हम हमारे लिए सोचने लग जाते हैं, हम ये नहीं सोचते ना हम बिलीव करते हैं जो हमारे मॉम डैड बोलते हैं. Write a brief note. Write a brief note on Garogalian family as perceived by the narrator. You can talk about the honesty. You can talk about how from 11 centuries they are known for their honesty, and you can talk about the small thing that happened in the chapter. And yes, you can always do that. What did Aram feel about the crazy streak in the family? Now, crazy streak can be two people in here. It can be Murad, it can be Uncle Khusro. He feels that Murad is natural descendant of Uncle Khusro, and these guys are the liveliest people in the entire family, and they can actually live their life better than anybody else can. Describe the ride of Aram and Murad when they went together for the first time. Now, in this, you can describe the entire ride along with the time where Aram wanted to ride alone and the horse actually kicked him somehow and horse ran away, and how that used to happen every day. Then we have where had the narrator come? Why is she back? नाउ ये जो क्वेश्चन है ये है दी एड्रेस से, और एड्रेस से आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि ये नंबर 46 पे आई हैं. She is back because she just want to look at the things that belong to her mother because her mother is not here anymore, and she wants to feel the thing that's there, you know. What kind of a welcome did the narrator get from Mrs. Darling? Mrs. Darling is cold and she doesn't even recognize her. Once she mentions that, okay, I am so and such person, then she decides that, okay. But she's very cold recipient there, and she's one greedy lady, literally. Describe the narrator's ploy to get Ranga married. Oh my god, now narrator's role was big because अगर नरेटर नहीं होते तो शायद रंगा की शादी रत्ना से नहीं होती है. तो आप एकदम से स्टार्टिंग से बता सकते हो कि कैसे उन्होंने डिसाइड किया था कि वो रंगा की शादी कराएंगे, फिर कैसे उन्होंने रत्ना को रंगा के लिए सोचा, फिर किस तरीके से उन्होंने शास्त्री के साथ मिलकर ये प्लानिंग किया, किस तरीके से उन्होंने रंगा को टॉर्चर किया बीच में ताकि से रंगा खुद से बोले कि वो रत्ना को पसंद करता है. डिस्क्राइब रंगाज मीटिंग विद शास्त्री. अब रंगा की मीटिंग शास्त्री में आप वो रत्ना वाला पार्ट स्पेसिफाई करोगे जैसे शास्त्री ओवर एक्ट करते हैं वहां पे. were the teacher interested in understanding Albert, bringing out his potential? No. टीचर्स जो एल्बर्ट के स्कूल में थे वो अलग चीज़ सोचते थे. उनके लिए सिर्फ जो भी वो पढ़ाते थे उसे एग्जैक्टली कॉपी करना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी था. उनके लिए ये ज़रूरी नहीं था कि बच्चों को वो चीज़ समझ में आ रही है या नहीं. एंड दैट्स वाई एल्बर्ट को वो चीज़ नहीं जमता था. Who were Yuri and Elsa? What role did they play in Einstein's life? Yuri उनका बेस्ट फ्रेंड था और एल्सा उनकी कज़न थी. एल्सा डेफिनेटली बार बार उन्हें बोलती थी कि उन्हें अच्छा करना चाहिए, अच्छा करना चाहिए, जबकि यूरी उन्हें अच्छे से समझता था. ना तो सिर्फ समझता था, यूरी ने उनकी मदद भी की क्योंकि लिटरली उन्हें फील हो रहा था कि आइंस्टाइन हैप्पी नहीं थे. Mrs. Fitzgerald's effort does not go in vain as the family changes for better. Justify. Literally family को दिख जाता है कि mother का role कितना important है और उनकी mom किस तरीके से उनके लिए काम करती है. And that's why Mrs. Fitzgerald का जो effort है वो vain में नहीं जाता है. They finally play rummy and children actually cooked food for their mother. Sometimes it does people good to have their feelings hurt. Who says this and what does she say to hurt Mr. Pearson? Now, this is said by Mrs. Pearson technically and actually by Mrs. Fitzgerald, because she said that Mr. Pearson has been called as Pompey Ompy in the club because he is so much dependent on the club and he enjoys going to clubs so much that he even forgets that he has a wife at home. And it's important to hurt his feelings so that he knows exactly what happens when you actually love something so much and people actually make fun of you, like the way they were doing with Mrs. Pearson, and it's quite good. He had no premonition and that this night call would prove unusual, still less that it would influence his whole future at Blenheim. What does this unusual event in store for him? यहाँ पे birth की बात हो रही है. जब उन्हें पता चलता है कि he has to go there, he had this breakup going on, not breakup exactly, some tensions going on with his girlfriend, and then he has to go to a delivery and it was again very complicated, and somehow it turned out that it was the amazing thing and he realized that he has done something in his life. Andrew's visit to Morgan's gave him pleasure and satisfaction that he had not achieved earlier, क्योंकि उन्हें लगा उन्होंने एक ऐसा मिराकल करके दिखाया, ऐसी चीज़ अचीव की है जो कि उन्होंने कभी नहीं की थी. एंड दैट्स हाउ ही वाज लाइक कि एटलीस्ट उन्होंने मैनकाइंड के लिए कुछ किया. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. So these were the important questions, guys. I prepared this worksheet for you. So if you want, you can go ahead and do these and check if you guys know exactly everything. And if you face any difficulties, you can always come to the platform and you can always check out my profile. The link is given in the description box. Don't forget to use SDC Live to unlock your special classes for free. Don't forget to use SDC Live to get 10% discount on your Plus or Iconic subscription. If you wish to study hard and if you wish to score in between 90 to 100, then you're most welcome from 1st of December, that's tomorrow, into my course, which is amazing. And we are going to do a lot of questions, we are going to see a lot of more things there, and you're going to love English literally. So thank you so much for having me here. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye, take care.